Hello, bonus content tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play some more Dragon Quest III with me, BlueAnkylo. So you may notice that I have reloaded the game into dark mode, where we have not yet defeated Zoma, because that's the only way to get to the bonus content. So yeah, between episodes I spent a few days leveling everybody up. So I reloaded back to my last, real save at a king, and I leveled everybody up. And I played to the end of the game, which got us all the same equipment that you had at the last episode, although I did it again. And we leveled up to a bit higher level this time, because pretty much the final boss... I haven't actually, to be fair now, we're into territory I've never accessed, because if you didn't know, if you weren't following a guide or anything, it's actually kind of hard to find the bonus dungeon in this game. And the last time I played the remake, I didn't even know it existed, so... this will be the first time for you and I, but from what I've read, the next super boss probably wants a character level around 45, or if you have a bad party, you might need 60 or 70. So I felt like maybe getting to like 40 or 41 would be a good idea off camera, and I'm sure we'll get some level ups as we do the final dungeon, or the next bonus dungeons, whatever. So interestingly is, I think we've got all the spells now. So, Explode It should be new for you guys, Transform and Chance. I think those were the three last wizard spells. Explode It is just Kaboom or Kabang or whatever the normal name for the light magic hits every enemy type spell. Pretty sure you've seen Fire Volt, which is a good strong group of enemies done with fire magic. You've seen Ice Spears, which is all targets ice. Snowstorm is group ice, Blaze most single target fire, Bounce reflects spells, Chaos confuses an enemy maybe. Bedragon is actually just a thing you can do with it. I know, there's a lot of little details like this that I haven't really shown off. But during my grinding, I was testing some things out. And I'd like to get another Metal Bauble fight out here. Yeah, I mean, this one will probably run away before we can kill it. But... if we can, not kill it immediately, I'll try both mages to go Bedragon just to get a better chance. If we can get the Metal Bauble to stay around for at least one turn, any number of Metal Dragon, or Metal Baubles, liquid metal slimes, any number of them that stay in the fight, assuming the dragons go, and I think you'll get to see it right here. What does a Dragon Breath do? It ignores defense, or at least it does such a high damage that it's over their damage. So that might actually be a more reliable way to kill liquid metal slimes, and I definitely used it quite a bit to get to level 41. They can still run away if they're fast, but if you have a group of you can get, I think, groups of up to 3 liquid metals. If you get lucky enough that none of them run away in a round, you can kill 3 at once with that, which is pretty awesome. So anyway, that's kind of our new, we've had Bedragon for a while, but Transform is new, Chance, and Explode It. We'll use those today. I think we finally got Revive for the full 20 MP to guaranteed revive a character. I don't know if I've shown it off yet, but it's twice as expensive as Vivify, but it always works. And I think it revives you with full HP, but we'll have to test that out if someone dies. I forget the exact. I haven't really used it, but if you somehow lose your keys, this was more important in the NES version, where you might not be able to you had more limited inventory space. You didn't have a bag. So being able to cast the open spell without having to carry keys around was kind of nice. And I think we've seen pretty much everything else here. So those are all normal. So that's basically all the spells. Exploded and Chance and Transform are new. And I think, what was the other one that I was going to show off? Sacrifice. Oh yeah, Sacrifice is your standard kill yourself to heal the rest of the party, if I remember correctly. I don't think it does damage to the enemies. I think it's more like a Phoenix summon, kind of like old Final Fantasy 7, 6, and 7. Well, 7, I guess. But anyway, you just revive everybody else except yourself, I think. I could be wrong again. You kill yourself to do something, is what I know anyway. And then Arrow Cross is just your strongest priest magic. And I'm pretty sure the Sword of Light the spell it casts is Arrow Cross. So if you want to use one of the stronger in battle attacks, just use this King's Sword as an item and you'll get Arrow Cross. If you bother to go back to the 4th Pachisi board and pick up the Thor's the Thor sword, you can give one to anybody. It'll cast the Fire Volt spell, so the strongest fire spell. But interestingly, the most damaging actual spell is on blue. And, you know, we'll just do a couple fights here, just so you know what we're doing. I just want to show this stuff off before too much time goes by. But yeah, we've got lightning here. It's very expensive, but it hits all enemies no matter what. And I don't think I've shown this animation off. That's basically this version's Kazap, and it does around 200 damage, so... It is by far the strongest spell in the game. Maybe not counting Bedragon, because Bedragon does do similar damage, but it takes longer, like... You know, you sort of waste a turn, and then it's awesome. So that's lightning. Heal Us All is simple, it just heals everybody. We've seen Boom lots of times, so that's fine. What else have we got for spells? Let's cast Explode It, and I want to Bedragon that Liquid Slime if I can. Oh, it already ran away. But yeah, Explode It, I don't think I showed this one. It's pretty strong. I think it's about 140 to 150 damage. So it's not as strong as lightning, but for whatever it cost an MP, you could have seen it if you didn't blink. That just leaves us 2 spells. So we've got lightning down, explode it down. I think I've used all the attack magic spells by now. Parry. Let's try Chance twice, just so you can see some things. Chance was in... Passes everyone got passed out. You're fine. Chance was in Dragon Quest II at a very high level, and I'm not sure I leveled up enough to actually show it off during that Let's Play. But it has a wide variety of possible effects. Now, some of those effects, if they do work, they ignore enemy spell defense. So if it does cast Sap, or Kasap, or Defense Down, whatever we're calling it in this game, I'm pretty sure it works on bosses and liquid metals and all that. But the effect you get is random. That was Heal All, I think. And that, we basically had an expel, or a forced run, which I'm sure a lot of enemies are just completely immune to, but if Chance forces expel, or whatever the upgraded version of expel is, then it doesn't matter, it just works, basically. As far as I understand, if you cast expel, or the upgrade that is disperse, lots of enemies will probably resist it, but if you cast Chance... and it happens to be dispersed, which is probably one of the worst effects. It's definitely not what I would want. We seem to be getting a lot of passing out, fleeing options. There should be status ailments like sleep, stop spell, sap, some damage. There should be... There's quite a lot of options the way I remember it, but... I mean, we'll do one more round. I haven't really tested it out a whole lot. I didn't get a chance to really read that. That went super fast. Oh, it stole a bunch of MP. That's interesting. So Dobry full regenerated their MP with that Chance spell. That's pretty cool. It's like a super Rob magic. So anyway, there should be lots of neat effects if you want to just play around with it. It's pretty cool. That reset the battle. So that spell, that's an item that you don't normally get in Dragon Quest 1, 2, or 3. There's a Sands of Time in some future games, where if you use it in battle, it resets it to the beginning of battle. Chance can do that. And that just made them all flee again and knocked out all her allies. I suppose that might put you to sleep if you were... But then all the enemies get scared away, so I don't know. It's just, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's kind of fun seeing all the stuff that it can do. That's a Heal Us All, I think. And... sleeping everything. Not just the enemies, all your allies. So, you know, sometimes you get sometimes bad stuff, you know, that's the nature of the Chance spell. Lots of MP stealing. That's the second time I got that, I think. But then again, if that was Dobry who was already full, it didn't really matter much. Oh, full confusion, including your party. Suffice to say, Chance is probably not a great spell for actual useful. Like, I don't know when this would actually be a good idea to cast. Clearly, this is not helping us right now. The enemies hit themselves, but until we take damage, we lose control, and we just exploded in our own team. That's about right. Killed by Exploded and Aerocross. You guys, Daubry and Holly are doing a really good job of killing us, basically. Luckily, Blue survives and kills the last bear. So, I mean, that was the closest to a game over we've had in a while. Do I have... I actually didn't get a proper revive spell, so I can just do the 50-50. You know what I want to do is check out revive. So I want to revive someone with MP. I want to see if this restores you with full HP or not. Yeah, so revive, like Vivify, 50% chance to be resurrected, and then you get 50% of your HP. Revive, much more useful in the middle of a boss fight or something. That's why I wanted it before fighting Zoma. Because if you do get into a pinch, it's a lot nicer to have you know what I mean. It's just a considerably better spell for bosses. Okay, I guess there's one more spell to test out, and then we'll pretty much head on towards the bonus dungeon. Sorry for spending so much time, but it's just, the spells are cool, right? Like, when else do you get to try this stuff out? So the final spell that we haven't used, you've seen Aerocross. Well, I haven't used Sacrifice, technically. This is not the actual final spell. This is the penultimate. Okay, so it isn't a revival. It's just you sacrifice yourself to kill everything. So, I mean, you're sort of out, in a sense. Basically, as long as you have someone else that has revive, all you really lose is 20 MP to wipe out the entire enemy party pretty much forever. Like, I'm assuming some enemies can resist it, but I'm assuming it's a pretty high hit rate. But anyway, that's Sacrifice. Let's try the one I meant to try, which is Transforms. This is a weird one. You can transform into a different character. Now, you can only cast it as a sage or someone who was... It's a wizard spell, so a high-level wizard could learn it. And I think the idea is to change into, like, the hero who has, better equipment and stats, I think. So let's see how Holly does as Blue, essentially. Although, to be fair, she's taking more damage from breath attacks than Blue, so maybe your equipment doesn't switch over. Yeah, but we get the set of... The main thing is to get access, I think, to stuff like Lightning and Heal Us All. So, a Sage with a lot of base MP can transform to the hero and get these two spells mid-boss fight. Although you lose everything else, and you can't transform back. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, she still uses her whip, so it looks like probably your equipment and stats stay the same? Probably, but at the very least your spells change. So it's an interesting spell. I don't think I'll be using it a whole lot. I just wanted to make sure it worked, basically. And, I mean, this way you can have a Sage go... A Sage with lots of MP, cast Lightning, and Heal Us All. So, it's pretty cool. Okay, anyway, that's enough messing around. Just had a little bit of fun for the start of the episode. So one thing that I'm going to try out, one more little between the sheets thing. Before we go to the bonus dungeon, I want to try some little Easter egg I found. I was just doing some digging into stuff the game can do. We could have done this a long time ago, but I believe way up here at the top left of Dharma, there's a renaming person. So we could have renamed some party members, right? The God of Names. This is only in the remake. I don't believe this was in the NES version. So, did you notice you can rename your bag? I thought this was really cool. So we can rename the bag well, I mean, I don't have any great names ready right now, but we could have had an extra name. We'll go Ultra. We've got just enough room for Ultra Bag. There you go. It got upgraded for the final dungeon. Give Ultra Bag your blessing. From now on, Bag will be known by the name Ultra Bag. That's all for now. So anyway, you know, this is pretty cool. you can rename your party members or your bag. Okay, so that stuff's done, and yeah, I mean, it shows Ultra. You'd have to. I don't know how you can see the actual full name of it because it only shows 4 characters on this screen. It still says sort bag here, so it doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. And we still just says, look, you and I, we know that it's called Ultra Bag, okay? Okay, so it's time to go to the actual bonus dungeon area. We could, at some point, you know, we might stop back at the town that we were rebuilding, because maybe there's some new stuff there, but, you know, for now, we've wasted a lot of time today's episode. I think we're gonna have to fly there. So we're looking, essentially, spoiler alert, we're gonna go back to the Dragon Queen's castle, because that is apparently where you can continue the game. And I've never done this before. I had to look it up, because basically you have to beat the game, then reload it, and sure, you might be able to notice that your, you know, the hero, Erdrick, or Lot in your status screen. But then you have to fly, and there's only one way to get here, to the Dragon Queen Castle, where we got the light orb. And I really don't think there's anybody in-game that tells you about this. So you'd have to really just really enjoy wandering around after finishing the game to find this naturally. So buy your Nintendo Power, everybody. And if I remember correctly from my reading, not only do you randomly go back to this Dragon Queen Castle, you might also have to search a random tile. The closest you'll get to heaven. Unless you're the hero can reach heaven from here. Okay, so that was the one tiny hint that they gave us on the entire game that there might be something else to do. So the reason we are okay now is we are the hero Loto. That is our class. You know, we're still Valiant, but we're no longer known as just a basic hero. We are the legendary hero is probably the way to really phrase it. So the legendary hero can walk into the window. The closest you'll ever get to heaven unless you're the legendary hero. Welcome to Skyworld. And, you know, it's up in the sky. Yes, this is probably related to Zenithia if you've played Dragon Quest 4, 5, or 6, which has Zenithia in it. But, again, this is not in the original Dragon Quest 3. This is a bonus dungeon added years later. Oh no! It's a mimic! Alright, so the way we've been killing these things, the straightforwardest way. I wonder if Holly goes right away, if she could stop spell it. She's got a ton of agility with the... No, it didn't work. She's got a ton of... Well, I mean, that worked just fine. What am I trying to say is she's got a ton of agility. In fact, I believe she's maxed it out long ago. Because of the Starry Ring, the Meteorite Bracer. And Fella's almost maxed his agility out anyway. I didn't really, you know, cover the stats, but I believe I did my leveling up pretty much the same as last time, where Blue and Fella have been focusing on strength with the hero, the Valiant, or the hero personality. Although Blue is nearly maxed, means I should probably switch him to a different personality than like a strength-focused one. But I'd rather just get him to 255 strength for the final boss, if possible. And, you know, Holly and Daubry have been mostly just sexy and smart, because, you know, that's perfect. Pretty good stats. Pretty good stat ups, anyway. Dark Trolls. So our first random encounter in here. Let's see what we got. Oh, when I refought Zoma for the second time, I followed my personal suggestion that I would use Fella to mostly use the Sage's Stone. It worked out really, really well. Fella's just healing most of the time, and then Daubry and Holly more easily able to focus on buffs and stuff. That worked really nice. And one thing I didn't realize last episode, or whenever that was, when you're fighting Zoma, when he does the Dispel, like when he clears all your buffs, he also clears the debuffs that are on him. So, you need to re-sap him after he does that. I would have probably done a lot more damage, If I'd remembered that. So who has the Sage's Stone? Oh yeah, Fella still has the Sage's Stone. Everybody else is kind of back to default equipment. When I fought the final boss, I gave everyone, you know, the Yggdrasil leaves and life stones and stuff again. But we've still got lots of spare wizard rings, and I think I tried to remember what I had the equipment set up, you know, for the last episode, and I think I put it back to there. The life rings are mostly just for regenerating while you're doing dungeons. Same with the Sacred Bikini. The water dress is better for bosses, but regeneration while you walk is pretty nice, especially when you're level grinding. Just speeds it all up. Oh yeah, Fella, can you tell us? It's been a while. Where are we? Nope, no, not to tell us. Fine, fine. How about how much treasure there is? 2 more treasures, okay. So we'll try to get at least a dent in this dungeon before we move on. So I think we've seen most of these enemies before. The Dark Troll was new, but I think we fought most of the enemies in this fight. I think the Salamander has a pretty strong breath attack if he bothers. Honestly, these guys seem like kind of chumps for the most part. Hutragons. I think those guys were in Zoma's castle. Also known as Charlock. I always forget the original name in Dragon Quest 1, so... There's the breath attack. 99 damage to poor Fella and Holly. That's what you get with no breath protection. Oh, there's also something I was going to tell you. Right. There's now that when I saw that random drop, actually, that reminded me. So I'm still going to go for the maximum stats, because why not? One thing that happened while I was grinding, I can find it here. We got a couple rare drops from fighting the liquid metal slimes, and I just wanted to point them out. Yeah, lucky shoes. I actually got them twice. So this is a rare drop from the liquid metal enemies and maybe a couple other. And they actually give you experience as you walk. Like every step you take, you get a bit of experience. And they give you a bunch of luck. It's not enough to make a huge difference. They're also, I'm pretty sure they're worth a fair bit of money. So it's kind of a neat, really rare drop, rare steal kind of thing from liquid metals. But if you're bedragoning them, assuming that's the term, it doesn't take too long generally. So we're going to start speeding some of these random battles up. Honestly, this floor anyway, Fella stole the bikini right off the gold man. You only get the treasure from the last enemy you kill, so it was definitely the gold man. I don't want to go down, but it's kind of fun. The magic bikini is worth lots of money, so we made all kinds of dosh this time. Evil crabs. Might be worth just doing some minor magic here. They seem to have a lot of reasonably good defense. I just want to test out, like, yeah, wind works. Fire seems to work. Okay. Earlier on in the game, the crabs seemed to be stronger to magic. I don't know what the deal was. So this just connected back over... So I think we're still looking for 2 chests, right? Unless we come back to this floor from, you know, down, around, and up again. There's still 2 more. I think maybe in the top left is kind of the only area we've missed. Sadly, dragons just haven't been very strong since Dragon Quest 1. In Dragon Quest 1, you know, green dragons were tough, but then we had blue dragons and red dragons, which were just nightmarish in the very first game. But since then, Dragon Quest 2 and 3, they just haven't really lived up to the old days, you know? For a series titled Dragon Quest, dragons just... they're getting old. If you play Dragon Quest XI, you see a really strong, powerful dragon very early on, and then by the time you come back to fight him in the late game, you can kill him in like 2 hits. It's kind of sad. Ooh, buy kill! Yeah, that's a good combo. So the Dark Trolls here are definitely the strongest enemy in the dungeon, and if there's anything that we take seriously on this floor, it should be these Dark Trolls. Sorry, you can only buy kill yourself once. Alright, so next time we fight those, I'll try to use a little bit of magic, because they really do hit very hard. There's some treasure. You found the Staff of Reflection. So I would be willing to bet that that will cast Bounce in battle. It's not particularly great offensively. And I should probably get rid of those Falcon Swords. The Falcon Swords were really just there to kill metal bubbles until I found out that Bedragon worked on them. And then the Falcon Swords have been kind of sitting there getting rusty. So I want to see for sure if I was correct. Does this weapon do what I think it does? It could be Barrier. Barrier would be nice. Basically just insulate. But I'm assuming it'll be Bounce. Oh, I missed it. I didn't even read it. I was looking at my drink. I guess we'll just have to cast it again next fight. Oh, that's the trouble when you've got the text speed on so fast. We'll never know what it does. Okay, well, I'm still missing... Where am I? I'm hoping it's not just a random floor tile you have to seek out. This is not going to be that cave that we never speak of. Please, not again. There was always that one cave where Blue got lost. It looks like that was Bounce, right? It must have been. It won't stop breath, but it should stop a magic. Okay. It didn't read the same thing as what Barrier said, as far as I could tell. Let's try Seek Out in these little side rooms. Because that's my next guess for where this last treasure will be. And I just want to be thorough here while we're doing the bonus dungeons, because there could be some really awesome, you know, post-game weapons and stuff like that. Okay, this led us back to kind of the beginning area. Maybe I never went north from here. Northwest from kind of the starting point of the cave. Devil Whiz. That guy might be new. I wonder if you can stop spell, stuff like that. Probably just kill him immediately, but... okay, defense down. I'm not sure I've ever had stop spell work. Well, no, we had like 1 or 2 bosses it freakishly worked on. But almost any random encounter I've tried to stop spell, it has failed me. So, I haven't been terribly impressed. Hey, there's the last treasure. Good. Strength seeds. Sweet. You know what? Because I am so close to maxing my strength, I should just use them on Fella. Because I don't think... Because he hasn't been a Valiant status as long, there's very little chance that he'll get to 255 strength during this playthrough, whereas Blue, with a couple good level ups, could get there. Alright, here we go. So, real Dark Troll fight. Let's... What would be the smartest thing to do? Just try to rush them down with buy kills? Of course, even Holly with 255 could not buy kill before Fella goes. Yeah, they definitely hit hard. I suppose in that sense, after buy killing, we could max out our defense. Mind you, a buy kill BlueAnkylo is kind of nuts. When you've got so much strength. Yeah, I think the buy kill might be all we need. I could try maybe putting surround on them because they do hit so hard. Anyway, let's get back to the stairs. Just speed through some of these battles. You know, I might let these bonus content episodes go closer to 1 hour long, just because, you know, we're at the end of the game. We're just kind of wrapping things up now. And I did spend so long just showcasing spells. Fella, can you finally tell us where we are? Come on, Fella. Alright, what? There's no chests on this floor? What a waste. No name and no treasure. Kind of reminds me of one of the caves we've been in earlier. Well, that looks different. Barum Evil, so it's definitely a Baramos type. I really don't know how dangerous these will be. I suppose we should put Barrier on just on this to be on the safe side. Probably help protect Daubry. The trick is, I don't really know how much HP they've got. If they die quickly, then we could just rush them down, but I don't really know. Well, they definitely have a breath. It's not quite as strong as Zoma's breath, but it's definitely strong. Exploded is pretty rough, too. I think I'm pretty glad I cast Barrier there, because we might have had a really bad turn. Let's maybe use some Sage's Stone here. Max out our defense, and maybe max out our speed? It's possible this is not a random encounter, but I stepped on a tile that guarantees a mini-boss. Alright, we got some basic healing. Maybe should have healed twice, honestly, but... These guys apparently can get 2 attacks per turn as well. I wasn't expecting that. Crap! We are in trouble! So, surprise, surprise! I really... the thing is, if they're getting 2 turns per round, we're gonna have a really hard time. I need to kill something, so I'm gonna have Fella try to do some basic healing while Holly revives. She should go quickly. She should go first. She can revive Daubry, and then if she dies, probably, Daubry can revive her next turn. They can kind of alternate. But then Fella will be... Yeah, this is going to be rough. We really need at least one of these things to die. Because this is nuts. Crap. Yeah, okay, thank you, Blue. That was a nice time. Alright, so now that there's only one alive, we should be okay. I underestimated their damage output. I mean, I did cast Barrier, which was certainly a good call, but you know, it might be better to put the water dress on Holly, because it would also reduce the damage here. I think we're gonna do a heal all. And I'm gonna go for a sap just to end this quicker, if we can get lucky here. It did not work. Oh, well, fine. Buy kill Kingsword's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah. I'm gonna give Holly back her water dress. Fella is the only one that doesn't get any kind of breath magic protection. But the light dress, the water dress, the light armor, and hero shield all give us pretty good stat protection, or you know what I mean. But yeah, if we get more double bear evil, we're gonna have a bad time, that's for sure. I also don't want to waste too much MP, because we spent a ton of MP on that fight. Like, I'm wondering if it's worth trying to recover some on a relatively safe fight. I don't know, like, I don't know how good raw magic is, because I've almost never seen it work. That's pretty bad. So, 0 for 2 on raw magic versus the and now, of course, my fighters are not casting. This is pretty bad. Because I need to kill these enemies now before this happens. Well, it's bonus dungeons, guys. It's no joke. Alright, the crabs will go down pretty much for sure. Hopefully they can just physical this guy down. Oh good, he has got revive. Good enough. Alright, one crab should be fine. So, yeah. Don't mess around down here, guys. I should be using the Sage's Stone more often mid-random battle now, clearly. Because, Oh boy, oh boy. And then this again. Oh man, okay, so things are getting a little bit heated, for sure. The fella's gonna try to keep people healed up for less MP. Dobry is gonna try to... I'm gonna try to speed this up. The sooner we can sap and buy kill, the quicker we'll kill these things. I know increase is probably safer, but... Why would I attack the one that was not sapped? That's so dumb. Looks like with buy kill, we don't even really need to sap them. We can just attack twice. I'd like to see how a buy killed Falcon Sword does, though. Also, I don't believe we have any way to lower an enemy's attack in this game. There's a blunt spell type thing later on that would work, but in this version. So that was what, 370 damage? I think that was still about the same as using the King's Sword to attack, right? Well, about 400 damage. That might just be a little bit more damage with buy kill. Hopefully I remember the way through this floor quickly. I think we might be doing a lot of repeated floors, interestingly. Okay. We gotta recover some MP, because this is not gonna work long term down here. We gotta find somewhere we can steal magic. Actually, that was pretty good on the So the evil crab totally has MP. Why we were unable to steal it, I don't know. Because it was able to cast a spell, which means it's gotta have... Well, that's great. Got the crit. That was actually probably quite lucky. Double defense up is gonna make those guys a real pain in my neck. Now we're in a lava area. Okay. Okay, this was the beginning of the cave, whatever the name of this cave was. What am I going to do? I was thinking maybe I should try Rob Magic on the Dark Troll. No. So far, we're at like 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 on that. Oh yeah, I was going to cast Buy Kill. That's what I forgot to do. What happened to Blue? Why is he sleeping? Blue, wake up! This dungeon's way too strong for you to be sleeping. Yeah, these guys don't play around. Alright, I think I keep forgetting buy kill in the middle of this. Like, I don't like... This is gonna make the combat taken off. This episode's not gonna get very far if I have to, like, worry about buffing and defensing. Yeah, that's really brutal. The Dark Troll doubled his defense there. The upper spell, is that? Do the enemies have different names of spells than the heroes do? Okay, I see. Buff is just upper. I just never use it. I just use increase. Right. Okay, that's my problem. Well, they've maxed their defense. Probably means I shouldn't be using the Falcon Sword, because they get, double the defense out of it. Fella's not going to be able to do almost any damage at all now. I think one more will max ours. I mean, we should be okay. There we go. But this is going to be kind of frustrating. I guess what we do here is we try to get some magic out of them, because the mages are not going to do any damage at all without spending MP. Raw magic seems to be a terrible spell. Also, can I not actually hurt these things? What is... Come on, Blue, please. Kill it. Two damage. Oh, man. Crabs are gross. So, buy kill Blue is the only way, assuming I haven't done that already. And I forget. Look, how much defense do you guys need, stupid crabs? Miss. I should just run away at this point. I mean, I know I can defense down them. It's just it's rough on the MP if they keep casting up defense up every turn. And a bi-killed king sword with almost max strength can't damage them. You know what? I'm foolish. There's an easy way to do this. I haven't had to use, like, attack magic weapons before, but yeah, I think it's time... Maybe I should go back and buy that Thor sword, because... Like, we're wasting too much MP is my problem. I think maybe to do this dungeon, we're gonna need, like, castable, like, powerful spells that we can cast with items rather than MP. Unfortunately, it's gonna make this, this dungeon is gonna take forever if I have to do this every turn. That's a lot of magic and menuing just to kill a crab. But I can't spend all the MP, you know, buffing and buffing and buffing and healing and casting spells the old-fashioned way. Also, giant shears. What the heck? Huh. I bet you they're like merchant weapons, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're pretty good for a late-game steal from something. So that's kind of neat. One chest on this floor. Okay. You guys remember where this is the stairs, right? I forget. I'm not even 100% sure this is the same layout as the first time we went to this fire floor. I think it looks the same though. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we can steal from the King Hydra. I don't know. Unfortunately, I guess I was kind of hoping that if we're gonna have to use a lot of MP to survive this dungeon, is kind of my thinking. I was really hoping like buy kill would finally work, or not buy kill, you know what I mean? Rob magic. But if rob magic is basically garbage and just never actually does anything, apparently, then we really need to be conservative with our spellcasting. I know I can use wizard rings, but they're kind of finite. I don't have infinite... I can't just go buy more wizard rings right now. The only place we could buy them was, I think, in the elf forest. And I don't think we can go there to buy anything right now. Not at the moment. I'm trying to save my wizard rings for bosses, because... Now, this is like the, you know, maybe the final bonus dungeon, so maybe I should just use them here, but... I also don't know how long this place is. Also, King Hydra was a boss. This was one of the bosses from the final gauntlet, so the fact that I'm fighting him as a random encounter and not trying to like sap him and put barrier on is probably the mistake. Yeah, because he's got a ton of HP for a random encounter. So yeah, I need enough MP that I can handle, you know, sapping and barrier some of these enemies and still not run out. So I probably need Fella, unfortunately, to just focus on healing for free, while Dobry and Holly handle some of the basic required buffs and debuffs. And he's still taking forever to go down. Well, I don't think we're going to be finishing this dungeon on this episode, wowzers. If that's a random battle... all of that for a dead end. It does... oops, that's not the spell I meant to cast. It definitely does look like it's probably got exactly the same layout as the first time we came to this dungeon, you know. So if I really remembered well, if it hadn't been a month ago... gee whiz, look at this. Look at this nightmare. Alright, I'm gonna try to focus down the troll. Fella, you're just gonna try to keep people alive. Daubry, you know, for one exciting time, let's go Bedragon, although... basically, I've decided at the end of today's episode, I'm just gonna escape this dungeon, and we're gonna heal up and try again next time from wherever we left off. But yeah, this is crazy. I should have cast Barrier, maybe. But hopefully, Daubry can do something awesome. Assuming we don't all die. Alright, let's get Barrier up. Yeah, great. Double their defense. There we go. Flame. We got Dragon Breath doing significant damage, although not as much to the Hydra as I was hoping. I definitely have a problem, though, if every random encounter is a boss fight. Like, this is not going to be easy to record. We've got Barrier up. We don't have any defense up yet, though. And, like, Holly's very nearly at emergency MP. Alright, I'm Daubry, that's good. You kill that troll while I'm asleep. Once everyone wakes up, this shouldn't be too scary. It's just going to take a while. I still don't think I've ever seen Rob magic work. You know, I'm gonna keep trying for a little while, but like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it say unaffected every single time. Let's, you know, I think I forgot to sap it. Yeah, because it was buffed up. That's right. Should have done that earlier. Man, this is gonna take forever. Look at this. Like, I think these King Hydras must have, like, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 HP every time you fight them. Maybe the next time we run into this King Hydra down here, I should just test out running. Certainly Rob Magic's not going to work. You know, we're getting some experience. Not as much as killing metal baubles, but there's a bunch of HP for me. Very bad strength growth, sadly, but everything else is okay. Wowzers. And then, like, 3 steps random battle. I mean, we could start trying to run. You know, the other thing we could try out, I didn't think I was going to have to do this, but we could try tiptoe, repel. Maybe I'm high enough level that the monsters will still leave us alone. I believe it just goes off your front character's level stat. If you're a higher level, yeah, look at that. It seems like the encounter rate... You know, maybe we've got a way through this after all. It just, I didn't realize that we needed repel, basically, to survive this place. Maybe, and I think your chance to escape is also tied to your character level. So if you bothered to grind up enough, maybe this isn't so bad. I was worried for nothing. You know me, like, if you've watched me play this far, you probably know that I don't usually do the repelling strats mid-dungeon. Didn't work this time. Oh, okay, never mind. You can just run from... I had a hunch that you couldn't run from a boss-type enemy. You found the Gaia Sword! Didn't we throw that in a volcano? Is it exactly the same? Yeah, probably. I guess I'll give it to Fella. What I was thinking is Fella could use a really good offensive, use an item in battle to do a lot of damage type weapon is kind of what I'd like to see him get. Dragon Claw, Vivify. I mean, this is all nice stuff. I don't think we're going to use the Falcon Swords unless it's on blue. Nobody else really needs them. They were mostly for killing metal baubles. I don't think I'm going to need the Staff of Reflection because it's just for balance, which we can cast. If you didn't have a Cleric, there's probably more value to it. I'm going to hold on to the Sacred Bikini just in case I want regeneration, but honestly, it's probably time to go. And just the way the battles have been, if you want to fight, you kind of have to use King's Sword and Bykill for everything, so. Alright, let's see if we can do, like, maybe one more floor. One chest on this floor. Where was one chest? With a Mimic? I think we're on the second floor of the pyramid. So I just have to work my way around to the top left, I think. Also, this kind of stuff we should be able to fast forward through. These guys aren't that scary. Yeah. So maybe it was just that. Maybe it's just some floors are really, really brutal for random encounters. We'll see. I think we go all the way left and up. That's the stairs. Okay, hold on. As much as that would take us forward, I want to find... Stop spell and explode it. Yeah, that's brutal. Okay, Devil Whizzes have enough HP to be a bit of a problem. Or just super speeding. So remember, Dark Whizzes, he needs extra power. There we go, got it. A small medal. Pretty much anything you find in this bonus dungeon is meant to bring you over 100. So I still think 100 is the final prize, but you don't really need the mini medals in here to complete your collection. Unless you're trying to get all... I think there's like 110 or 115, but they're just extra. Yeah, much better than basically fighting 2 Baramoses at once, or fighting a King Hydra plus a bunch of other junk. This is okay. Oh, we get a heal. You know, this is a perfect spot to end the episode. We get a free heal. Okay, this changes everything. I was thinking I was going to have to restart this dungeon. This... full heals everybody. And I can just cheat by putting a save down. Alright, that makes me feel a lot better. So we managed to make it far enough. I still think it's... if you're playing along, I would highly recommend, you know, someone like Fella with the Sage's Stone and preserve your MP. Like, use that Sage's Stone, use those Sage Staffs. And, maybe try to find more offensive spell items, especially for your Thief, because the Flamerang doesn't do that much damage, especially against those dumb crabs in their defense. So if Fella had a way of casting, like if he had the Thor Sword, he could cast Firebolt for free. And Firebolt, I mean, I haven't tested it out on them, but I think it's supposed to do like 140 or 160 damage to a group. That's enough to make a contribution. But I think the problem is I probably shouldn't be casting a whole lot of Explodits and Revives and all the expensive spells, because, well, we were in danger of running out of healing there pretty quick. So, anyway, let's end the episode here. 15 minutes, a little bit longer than normal, but I think we'll be okay now. I'm feeling a little bit better. Maybe Fella, before we go, just tell me what do the folks have to look forward to? 2 treasures next time. All right. That'll have to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more bonus content.